welcome to Mike and Josh, the Mike and Josh Show.
Mike and Josh, say it again.
Say Mike
and Josh.
Show.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, I'm Mike.
And Josh.
AlphaCrown. In all seriousness,
I love it so much.
we decided not to post a. We decided not to post a vlog this week because we wanted to take some time to address some serious things that are going on in the gray market, and it's an unfortunate reality. But we do need to take the time to talk about a few things because certain people have made decisions that have affected us, and we'll get into that. But
Anthony,
yeah.
I'm an alcoholic. I have a drug problem, a gambling problem. I have a spending problem. I've wasted money on cocaine and hookers.
Yes, there's really three things we want to cover today. Is basically talk about the temperature of the gray market right now, the watch market in general. We want to cover the fact that consignment is not a scam or a bad business practice.
I like how you're saying that with a smile.
Yeah, I like how some other maybe watch personalities may say that. And then lastly,
Frederico.
Consignment is awful, and you shouldn't be consigning watches to watch dealers.
Lastly, the practices we have here at AlphaCrown and why you should do business with us.
Ethics.
Ethics.
Morals.
Just do us a quick favor. If you're watching right now, go to our Instagram, AlphaCrown Official, and go to our TikTok, AlphaCrown Official, and please follow us there. We'd like to grow that following and get that to be a number.
It's a brand new Instagram.
Yep, 2 new pages.
So please go ahead and follow that. We'd love to grow the Instagram and get it going. Cool. Let's get into it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's do it. Let's give people the rundown on what really happened and a brief synopsis.
Okay,
so
Anthony Farrar, also known aka as the Timepiece Gentleman, he ran a Ponzi scheme. No, it wasn't this brilliant strategized plan to screw a bunch of people over. Basically what happened was you get consignments, you sell them, and then you don't tell the consignor. And then that money gets into this mass pool, and then you don't regulate it.
Some of that money's spent on expenses.
Yeah.
Some of it's buying more inventory.
Right. Or a lifestyle. So gambling, drugs, prostitutes, alcohol, whatever. That's what the Timepiece Gentleman
self-confessed to those things. Right.
Self-confessed those things. Yeah. And so then it ends up being a Ponzi scheme because then you get consigners that say, hey, where's my money? Where's my watch? And then you have to use other people's money to then pay them off. And then you have to earn more profit to then pay others off. And then eventually you get into this hole and then you just drag it on and on and on. And so he did that and then became about $5 million in the hole. So that's what happened. And I hope that he finds recovery. I hope that he gets better.
I hope Anthony is able to someday pay everything back, because I know that he has.
Yeah.
Do I think he will? I don't think he'll be able to.
No, that's a tremendous. It's a tremendous amount.
It is a tremendous amount of money for one person like him. If he's basically burned every bridge along the way, then that's going to be very difficult for him to do that. I do know that he's on this road to redemption, as he was trying to phrase it and market it to stem some interest.
I don't want to talk about anything.
I'm going to get that. Yeah, sure. We're not here to talk about anything. All I'm just saying is,
But what he did was wrong, and it was risky. But as with any industry, in any business, you're going to get your Bernie Madoffs. In any industry, you have to do business with people that you trust.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of questions that you should ask when you're approaching a gray market dealer that you've never done business with,
right?
And get to know them a little bit better. You can even ask them some transparent questions about their business practices.
Yeah, a shadow's been cast onto the gray market dealer,
and it sucks. It really sucks.
So we had, and I don't want to point him out, but you put a target on yourself, my man.
I don't even say by name, but just say, we're hearing some other YouTube voices saying things such as.
I'd rather say his name because I respect him and I've watched him for a long time and I still respect him. And we've FaceTimed. We were going to do a collab sort of type thing quite some time ago.
We just respectfully disagree.
But I respectfully, it's Frederico. Frederico Talks Watches. I respectfully think that there was some hyperbolic statements and some statements that were just outright incorrect. I would like to explain the benefits, the pros and the cons, why people actually consign.
Yeah. You're just trying to pick a fight with Frederico, huh?
No, I'm not, but I will have a phone call with him and talk. So Frederico, if you watch this, please reach out. You have my number or comment and we'll touch base. I've got your number. So we might as well just kind of talk it over. Here's what's frustrating. It's frustrating for someone like Frederico or anybody for that matter, to post a video and say that consignment is an awful business practice.
Consignment is awful for multiple reasons. And you shouldn't be consigning watches to watch dealers.
It's an amazing business practice. It's actually amazing for everybody because every time someone calls me and they'll say, hey, I want to sell a watch. I'm wanting to sell a watch. And it's like, okay, great. Here's my buy offer. And then here's the consignment. Here's my suggested consignment list price. And here would be your prospective take home. That is always going to be higher.
That's the same interaction.
Than the buy offer.
It's the same interaction you're going to get when you go to a car dealership. You go to a boat dealership. I was in a camera store the other day looking at camera gear, and they had consignment gear for sale. They're just selling on behalf of other people. It's not limited to the gray market watch dealer. And I think
not at all.
Most people know that.
Right.
And just because it exists in this industry doesn't mean that it should be avoided.
Respectfully, like, and again, I've enjoyed your channel. I've watched many of your episodes and YouTube videos that you put out. So this is no disrespect, but honestly, with all due respect, you're wildly incorrect about this. So, but it's so stupid. It's stupid to say that it's an awful business practice. It's dumb. It's just wrong.
It's very one-dimensional.
No, it's ignorant. And so to say something like this, to say,
if a dealer is consignment only, there's only one reason. That dealer can't afford to buy your watch. He can't afford it. If a dealer can't afford your watch and consigns it, it's only a matter of time before someone gets screwed.
If they're consigning a watch, it's because they can't afford it. Well, if that's the case, then I wouldn't be giving a buy offer and a consignment list price.
Right.
But also, there are times where, you know what? That's true.
I guess Federico lives in a world where he has infinite resources and his bankroll is just so deep that he has all the money.
Again, no disrespect to Federico. It's a little frustrating, Federico. It's a little frustrating. I'll be honest, man.
We're going hard on Federico today.
Well, there's a lot of videos, but he's the one that we watch, and it's like, okay, like it's a little out of hand. It is a little out of hand. There are times, Mike, brother, there are times in which, guess what? Shock. Here we go. You ready? I'm gonna say it. We can't afford to buy it. Michael, we don't have unlimited funds.
I know.
If someone wants us to buy a $250,000 watch, sometimes we'll be able to buy it. Sometimes we say, you know what? I think this is a better watch to consign.
Yep.
We'll bring it in. It'll be fully insured. We're going to market it. We're going to take our fair share. And you're going to maximize your take home.
Yeah, because I want to diversify my inventory, and I'd rather buy 4 or 5 other watches instead of put that money into one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Depends on the watch. Depends on the person. Depends on the market, depends on the season. There's so many variables, so many factors that go into why we should consign your watch versus buy it outright.
It's irritating to go, it's not in your best interest because consignment is actually going to be a better option for you. You're going to actually make a lot more money. And then to have Federico or someone else come along and just go, consignment's an awful business practice. It's like, dude, no, it's not. Like, don't say that. That's just... It's just wrong.
There are hundreds of consigners that would say otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Now, with that said, what do we agree with? I agree that there is risk involved if you don't know who you're consigning with. There's absolutely risk involved. And so that's where things can get a little sketchy, as with any industry. If you don't know who you're consigning with, or you think you do.
Get to know them a little bit, get to know them on the phone or come in, spend time with them, talk with them, get to know the kind of people they are, who they are in their private lives.
I'm going to get away from Federico because this isn't an attack on him. Federico, I love your videos. I love you, dude. I really do. I'd love to have a discussion with you about how wrong you are. I'd love that if you want to do
Josh loves having conversations with people about how wrong they are. Just give him a chance. Just give me 5 minutes for Federico, and I'll convince you all the reasons why you're wrong.
Yeah. In all honesty, Federico, you're
Josh, you've already said that. You've already said it 3 times on the video. I think the point's gotten across.
Well, but I don't know. I mean, because it might be it might feel like a slight regardless of how much I say it. So we're going to get away from that. Okay.
In light of everything that's going on, we have some strategies for how we're going to just quell any fears.
Yeah, exactly. Quell. I like that term.
Yeah.
Quell any fears. And look, we have a lot of people that trust us. Rightfully so. I think we've earned their trust. I think we are trustworthy people. And we live our lives for a higher purpose, not for ourselves. We don't live our lives from a moral compass that we've built within ourselves. We are men of faith.
That's what we've heard from clients themselves say, you're my guys.
Yeah.
You're my watch guys.
I think we've earned people's trust, but it comes across as very absorbed and very self-serving, which I think is very strange. I'm not trying to do that. It's just, look, I think that we've earned people's trust, but that doesn't matter because of there's reasons that now within this current watch climate, the gray market climate. Explain a little bit of what we are going to be putting into place to ease people's fears, to make them feel a little bit more at ease with the consignment process.
We do know that if you're a client of ours, you've been a client in the past, then you know this, but our consignment process is fully insured process.
Right.
All the way from packaging a watch and shipping it out to us to payout. We send them a fully insured shipping label. It's shipped through FedEx or Malka Emit. And those two companies insure the process all the way when it gets to us. We open it up, inspect everything, obviously authenticate it, doubly authenticate it. We authenticate it ourselves. We take it to a watchmaker here nearby to get authenticated.
But then not only that, we have our own in-store insurance policy. It's not a personal policy.
Right.
It's a business policy.
Business policy through Jewelers Mutual.
Through Jewelers Mutual. So it is a jeweler's insurance policy that insures every single piece, not pieces only that we own. It's specifically for pieces that are consigned, memo, or owned, and we have all the paperwork to provide.
Yep.
And so upon request, or we've talked about every time that we consign a watch, we are going to attach our insurance policy that's up to date to every single consignment to let everyone know that we have the proper insurance.
Yeah, and I would recommend you, if you're consigning with another business and you don't choose to do business with AlphaCrown, that's fine. I would ask that you request the same document from them. Request that they can show proof that they have an insurance policy that covers that, not only the name of that business, but the location in which that business is.
Make sure that the name and the location match.
And that the safe they store the watches in are on that same physical location as well.
Right. Well, yeah, in order to have an insurance policy, you have to have a specific security system. You have to have a specific safe. We use a third-party shipping insurance company that brings the watches in. It comes right through our doors, so it's insured up until our doors. And then the moment it's in our doors, we have it insured through Jewelers Mutual. So there's never a point in time.
Is there a gap where it's in transit and there's a risk that...
Exactly. There's never a point in time where it's not insured. All right. Insurance, great, cool. That sounds great, guys. Whatever. Awesome. You sell my watch. What happens?
Well, once your watch sells at AlphaCrown, there are two things that take place. First of all, you will receive notification via email, a DocuSign that says, hey, your watch has been sold, and here's the sell price for it. Now, what we need to do right now, because of, again, the temperature of the gray market, and upon request, if you would like to see a bank transaction that actually proves the amount that was brought in for your watch, and the date that it was brought in.
The amount that it's sold for.
The amount that it's sold for.
Right.
Because we receive bank wires and things like that. Sometimes it's credit card fees, whatever. We'll provide you, if you want to see it, the bill of sale, the receipt for, without showing the details of the person that, bought your watch, obviously. But we'll show you the exact amount of money and the bank statement recording that will be down to the penny. Yeah. This is what your watch sold for. And that's the number that we're doing our regressive consignment fee equation from.
Right.
So let's say your watch sells for $20,000. What percentage does that fall into?
20,000's in the, so basically from under 5,000 is $500 flat fee. Between 5 and 15,000, it's 10. Between 15 and 20, it is 9. Between $20,000 to 30, it goes down, or 25, excuse me, it goes on to 8%
there.
So on and so forth.
And those rates they're purposeful, they're calculated, they're,
yes.
Obviously we don't want to make 10% on a $100,000 watch. We're going to make 4%.
So I want to talk about the rates a little bit. Yeah. So the reason that we have a regressive percentage rate system is because it is more difficult to sell a $100,000 watch than it is to sell a $10,000 watch. But if we got 10% on a $100,000 watch, the take home is 90. A $10,000 profit for selling a piece that you're not upfronting any money for,
it seems
is extremely high. Now, a 10% fee for a $10,000 watch and then the take home is 9 is extremely fair. A lot of people will say, well, a lot of clients, and this is usually it's new first time potential clients, prospective clients. They'll say, hey, I reached out to someone else and then they said that they'd sell it for 11 and then you told me 10. So I think I'm going to go with them. And I said, look, you could reach out to someone and they could tell you 15. They could tell you 100,000, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell. And so a part of what we do is look at the climate of the market. We look at the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. We have a very, very deep understanding, a very, very deep understanding of the way the market's going. But before I try to give a number, I try to have a conversation and I say, what's your objective? Because you could say, how much would you list this for? And I say, well, what are your goals?
Yeah.
Because I had, for example, brought in a watch It's a Pave dial.
This is the Yachtmaster 40.
This is the Yachtmaster 40. It's a Pave dial. And I said, look, what are your objectives? What are your goals? Because if you're trying to move this tomorrow, I'll give you a buy offer, but here's the consignment list price that I think it'll move. If you're trying to wait a long time, then, and you don't really care if it sells, then, we can try and list here. And I say, I want to be fair.
You're going to work with people in the situation they're in. Either get them the most money for their watch.
And especially with watches like that, where there's not a whole lot of them out on the market. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, how much are you going to sell it for? What are we going to list it for? Well, I'm kind of seeing here in this range, like there's a delta of like $2,000 to $3,000, and it all depends on card, box, year, and all of that. Yeah. And so we calculate and figure out, look, here's where I think a great starting point is. And we ended up listing it for $43,000. And I said, look, I think 43 is fair. That's roughly in the middle. And he said, look, my absolute best is that I want to take home a 40. And if I can't get a take home of 40, then I don't want to send it. And I said, look, if you told me a take home of 41, then I'd say no. And here's the problem. People go, this person has a lower consignment fee rate, or this person, this business, they said they'll consign it for a little bit more. And the truth of the matter is that we have a very, very easy and simple to understand system in that there's no hidden fees. And there's nothing wrong with hidden fees. I know that has a negative connotation to it, but there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, here's our fee. And then you start getting into the paperwork, you start getting a little bit into the weeds, and it's like, wait a second. I have to pay for the shipping? Okay. Oh, well, now I have to pay for the photographs, and I have to pay for some of the marketing, and exactly. There's this and that, and okay, I have to pay for the wire fee in order to get paid out. It's little stuff like that.
Those are all costs of goods sold for us. We take on all those expenses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's all built into the consignment fee.
It's all built in. Yeah. There's no funny business going, okay, 9%, awesome. That's it. You take $10,000, you're taking 10%, $9,000. That's my take home. And there's no funny.
Because we're a business when we have to make money to operate. This is our livelihood.
Hey, profit's not an evil word.
It's not. We heard that yesterday when we talked to a businessman. We sat down with him.
Yeah.
Said, hey, he's a believer like us. Guys, profit's not an evil word.
Profit's not an evil word.
No.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think so often we do associate it with, greed.
You feel uncomfortable making money, because there are people who are greedy. There are people who want to make tremendous amounts of money. They want to screw people over. There's no longevity there.
Right.
You are going to be cut short. That's not us at all. So that's kind of our consignment process. That's how it works. We have a separate bank account that's labeled consignments. When we get paid for a consignment, it goes to that. It doesn't get touched.
It's not our money.
It's not our money.
It's not.
Nope. No. It's not our money.
It's the client's
money. We don't view
money.
it as our money.
Yeah. We're just an escrow service, truly providing a service, a great service, because we're going to help get your watches sold.
Right.
But it's not our money, and we don't do any funny business like that. And we're literally just facilitating the sale.
Yeah. And look, I get the concerns. Like, I understand. Like, there are Bernie Madoffs in every industry.
Right.
I get that. Guys like Michael and myself, Mike and Josh, we are trying to and are successfully running a successful company that has multiple business practices. We buy and we sell luxury watches. We also market and sell your luxury watch. And then we take our fair share because of the avenues, the website, the photography, the insurance, the shipping. We take our fair share and then the profit.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of that. The truth of the matter is that we have made the consignment process so stupid efficient here,
right,
and so beneficial that for me, there have been times, this is the honest to God truth. There have been times where I've told clients, this would be my buy offer. And they're like, okay, cool. So how do we do this? And I said, well, hold up. This is a piece that moves pretty quickly. I'm not greedy. I'll be honest with you. If you were to consign this piece, I would list it at that. I think it would move within a week because I've got the contacts. I have clients who are currently interested in that. You're going to make a couple thousand, $3,000, $4,000 more. Depends on the piece. I've had that conversation with many people.
And guess what happens? The next time they get a watch, who do they come to? AlphaCrown.
They come to us.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, because we're more interested in building lifelong relationships with customers and being honest with them over the next infinite amount of years until we pass from this earth, versus make a quick buck on them or scam them on one watch and then never see them again.
It's just frustrating that when one-on-one, and look, I would say about 20% of our dealings happen on camera. The vast majority of our dealings
never get seen.
Never ever get seen. And a lot of you who are watching who've done business with us, and it's like, I've never made it on camera. Like, this is, why? A, we're very busy, but B, a lot of you request it. A lot of you requested, hey, I got an AD relationship, this and that. I'd rather not. And we just go, hey, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's not going to make or break us if you're on camera.
Right,
so
exactly.
It honestly, it doesn't sting. It's just annoying. It's frustrating to have these off camera and on camera conversations of,
they're not sexy,
like,
they're not dramatic, they're not fun, they're not exciting, they're just good, normal business happenings.
yes, but to sit there and to look at how, man, I could easily just tell this guy, here's my buy offer. He's uneducated in the watch market. He doesn't know how much stuff is worth. I could easily just go, hey, here's what I'm going to buy it for. And then I could tell him, we could consign it for a little, for a little bit more, but honestly, I think buying is going to be your best shot. But that's a lie. That's not true.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy for someone. Well, let me step back. It is easy because we have conviction, and because we know that we're doing this to serve people. We're doing this for a higher purpose. We didn't practice greed before this. We don't practice greed now, and we're not going to practice greed later. In fact, 10% of our net profits will be going to
different 501c3 organizations that are either here or anywhere around the world.
That's before our take homes. That we're not greedy people. It's frustrating to have these conversations in which I could easily make
another 10 or 15%
to $3,000
margin,
but then that's not in their best interest. And so,
and maybe it goes without saying, but it probably should be said, is that when we have a consignment piece that's sold and that money comes into our escrow account, that we don't roll those funds into another watch.
No,
that we have a buying fund, right?
We're not a bank, guys.
Yeah, buying fund for purchase inventory, and then we have the escrow account, and basically two separate business models that are simultaneously working together under one roof in one inventory showroom.
Right.
But it's two different business models.
Let's talk a little bit about what AlphaCrown is doing, if they even care. Let's talk about what we're doing in our showroom. And
yeah, if you've stuck around this long, that means you actually, you like us. And you care about us, so we appreciate that.
And if you haven't stuck around, then you're the worst because you're not even watching this anymore, and we hate you. No, too much.
Too much.
Right.
Too much.
Fine.
You mean in terms of like the renovation that's going on here?
Yeah.
I think you can see a little hint at it behind us, a little bit there. We've got some nice wood accent walls going on.
Yeah.
Some
LED
lighting.
some nice LED lighting. So a lot. So the concept
updates
is
to our bar back there that are happening, and we're not finished yet. So we've got some really, really great high end whiskey and tequila and things like that. So if you're
We've actually been expanding our collection.
We have.
So
and our palate over the last couple of years.
Yeah, our collection and our palate. So that's been kind of a fun thing. Turns out a lot of our clients
they enjoy the same.
We've had clients reach out recently and they're like, hey, I've got a nice whiskey collection. I'm selling this or whatever. So that's been really cool. So we've actually been expanding a little bit. But anyways, with that said, we're doing some pretty cool renovations, and we're going to be hosting some monthly events here.
Yeah.
Some whiskey events, some cigar events when the weather gets a little bit nicer.
Yeah, because unfortunately we don't have the filtration system to smoke cigars inside.
Yeah.
I wish we did, but
no, I think that'd be a huge disaster.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we've said all that we've needed to say. I've said all that I've needed to say.
You don't want to put down Federico one more time, just for good measure?
Federico, I love you. You're amazing. How's that?
No, I said put him down.
As the greatest YouTube channel personality of all time. You see how I just spun that right there?
Yeah, what else?
All right, 1430 Dragon Street, Dallas, Texas, Suite 25. That is where our private showroom is. Come see our curated collection of owned inventory as well as some consigned inventory. Come see if you'd like to buy from us. We buy, sell, trade, and consign.
I feel like it goes without saying, but please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Yeah. All right. See you guys later.